Hey guys, Mustached here to review Mortal Kombat 2, the video game movie, which I have seen the trailer for a few times before going in. And of course, we have, in a string of another reboot, a sequel that actually does improve upon the original context of what was going on. Now, Mortal Kombat 1, the original, was a cheesy, hokey movie with a few action scenes here and there that never felt like they're it felt like an improper tournament of sorts that sort of compounded itself and became Liu Kang's journey. And everybody has completely just said Annihilation's not great. It's bad, it's awful, it's bad, garbage. And so, after much amount of time, thus came around a revitalized version of Mortal Kombat. Now, a lot of people criticize this for the movie deciding to follow a new character in Cole, who gets, I feel, mistreated in terms of, this actor was placed in a character that was completely new, and I feel like the script didn't really do him many favors at all. His journey was upheaved by the MacGuffin that was his armor and how his power set worked. But I do think that that overshot any sense of characterization they were even attempting to go for. This family man, the simple family man kind of guy, who got dragged into a situation in Mortal Kombat, and eventually got in pretty deep. So, yes, I do think that that was an unfair circumstance. And boy, a lot of people are laughing about Cole's fate in this movie. I feel worse for the actor in this movie than in the previous, honestly. I mean, talk about being done dirty. I mean, sure, I guess people didn't really care for Cole, but, killing him? That spoilers, I guess. It doesn't really matter. I don't know. It just feels like... It feels like he should have been the one who got the battle for, where he gets spared. But, whatever. Anyway. So, to start off our movie proper and look at it as objectively as possible, we start with Katana as a child, given this little necklace by her father. But Shao Kahn has initiated Mortal Kombat, and the being he's facing is the last potential fighter that they have before Shao Kahn owns this world, and her father Jared loses, obviously, and Shao Kahn wins. Thus, Katara is forced to be subjugated underneath him, and while everyone else kneels, she proceeds to take the hairband that he had tucked away. We cut to some time later, present day in fact, with her training with Jade as her bodyguard. And she is the one that gives her her iconic fan. But we have some other references, like Shang Tsung is here to cut in for the enemy's side as we are still following their perspective. That is, until we cut to our main character that will be progressively following throughout the rest of this journey, which is Jonny Cage. Now, as much as this movie dumps on Jonny Cage, conversely, I do think that this is Jonny Cage's redemption movie. Remember, it was Mortal Kombat 2 Annihilation that killed Jonny Cage. He died in that movie. They switch the characters that get killed. And yes, I do have respect that they weren't willing to just say, hey, you know. But we'll get there. Anyway. So, Jonny Cage is one of his movie sets doing a scene, and after the fact, when he's done shooting, Raiden seeks him out, telling him that he is the last required fighter that has been picked out. Thus, he is then teleported after getting a brief cameo from Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat. And he sees the fellow fighters that he'll be fighting alongside, that being Jax, Kang, and Sonya, and, as I mentioned already, Cole. So, he feels like he's unprepared, unable to focus in on his abilities, as it were. Washed up, as it even more so were. But Mortal Kombat does have some bullshit in its later movies. And speaking of, that bullshit allows them to bring back Kano, because Kano was apparently that popular that they just had to bring him back. I guess I'll be the only one who will have this hot take. I think this is bullshit. I think they should have had the balls to keep Kano dead, but then again, that also does avoid the best fight in the entire movie also from happening, because it's between another dead character that was resurrected, so fine. I guess if you have to have a low-tier scrub like Kano come back, then whatever. Listen, Kano, he's a lame character in the video game. Let's not mince words here. And that's coming from someone who used to play Mortal Kombat pretty frequently. I used to know how to do some of the finishers way back when, but that has been a while, so I have become more of a Tekken person over Mortal Kombat, quite frankly, but I digress. But as the tournament proceeds, Jonny ends up in his first match, that facing off against Katara. He is, of course, completely overwhelmed, and loses thusly, but is spared, as I had already mentioned, that there was a sparing among the battles. And maybe I don't know, are the rules a little bit unclear? I thought a match would be over also if you were giving up or something, but maybe that's not a thing. I don't know. Anyway, so Sonya Blade faces off against Sindel, and this is our battle where Sonya wins. And a pretty straightforward, quick battle, nonetheless. So, all the while, Kano gets back his other eye that he lost in the previous movie. And Katara goes to the human world, the human group as well, to inform them about what is happening. and how Shao Kahn was given immortality through this MacGuffin. And thus, he then proceeds to face against Cole. This is, of course, where Cole dies. And he was the one that had the whole body armor thing, so that was his only opportunity, and then he got his head smashed in. Again, I guess I am the only genuine one who feels really bad that that has to happen to the actor this early on in Mortal Kombat 2. Like, come on. It's so it feels like, I don't know, it feels like the writers hate him in both instances. This isn't like a signal of love for, like, this insert character that, you know, regardless of if the writers here were paying attention to what the fans are saying, it's just like, there's a way to make that character work, I feel, and they never even attempted to do so. It's not really fair, again. But I digress. So, Jax gets, anyway, moving to our next fight, Jax gets the fight off against Jade. Jax wins. And then, after that battle, or sort of happening at the same time, is easily, without a sliver of even, like, contest, the best battle in this entire movie by a fucking landslide. It is Liu Kang versus, oh god, did I write his name? Chun Lao, the hat guy. He was my main back in Mortal Kombat, by the way. I used to always know how to throw the hat, which was like a really annoying skill, or ability rather. But, you know, he was already dead, so Liu Kang kind of has to re-kill him, in this sense. All the while, Sub-Zero gets resurrected, speaking of resurrecting characters nonchalantly. I guess to make up for it, I kind of hope that they do resurrect Cole, even if that means, like, he'll have to be the bad guy and likely die again. Like, at least give him, like, or maybe, like, he can rejoin the heroes anyway. I don't know. Like, give him, like, something to, like, a justice of some sort. I don't know. It feels like I feel like he deserves it after being hated for 2 movies. Not 1, because this movie completely disrespects him, just like the first movie. And like I said, I feel really bad for the actor in this case. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it was just for the paycheck at that point. I'd be so pissed off if I was that actor, quite frankly. I mean, I would do it too. Let's not mince words here, because I always wanted to be an actor, so I would do it too. I would just be really pissed that was the send-off that I was getting. At any rate, we cut to Baraka. Now this one threw me off a little bit, because the humans actually get Johnny, well, Johnny provokes to get a fight so that Baraka can join them. Now Baraka is usually portrayed as a villain, so this was quite the turnaround here. I'm a decent fan of Baraka. I don't know if I mained him as much as Chun Lao, but I digress. But Johnny does win this fight nonetheless, getting his respect, and then they work together. All the while, this is where Shao Kahn then tries to face off Liu Kang, and Jax kind of same time sequence here. This is where Jax gets his arms removed and he gets killed in this movie as well. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Jax does have a son in the later Mortal Kombat movie, so I don't know if that's going to be a thing that they're going to, like, play on in the third movie, because I'm suspecting that they're going to make a third movie based off where this one ends. But I digress, as Sonya rejoins them one last time, and then Jax gets killed after the fact. Kano turns when, upon meeting Jonny Cage, he kills 3 lackey guys, as they're in the B plot trying to destroy the MacGuffin. Though, you would think it'd be as simple as, because they're like in a volcano area, is like just chucking it into the volcano. I mean, it's just as simple as going, and they never do it. Or maybe the implication is like the MacGuffin was so strong that normal lava would have been able to do it, so they had to use their powers, but I don't fucking know. They didn't even try, so I don't know. That's the problem. But the lads bring in Scorpion, another dead character, technically speaking, who can guide them through hell. They face against Sub-Zero, as he sort of simultaneously uses Noob Sabat, or the Shadow version of himself, or whatever that is. All the while, Liu Kang and Sonya both fight Shao Kahn. Now, this is a part that has baffled, I guess, not only me, but quite frankly a lot of people, where Liu Kang just fucks off after getting jabbed to do some bullshit or whatever, and Sonya gets defeated as well, which does technically at this juncture leave the humans with nobody. However, Katara switches sides, and I guess the gods count this as a removal of one of the red flames, and it joins in one of the blue flames, because the blue flames represent the human group, and the red flames represent Shao Kahn's group, I guess I would say. But I don't know. I guess that's just a thing that can happen. Not that that makes any sense, but whatever. Maybe it was a whole bit about, like, the gods were watching carefully and they saw that Shao Kahn was using the thing, and then maybe they were like, well, we'll allow this change of teams. At any rate, so the other group gets the MacGuffin destroyed. Scorpion gets to say his line, "Get over here," because of course, it's an obligation whenever you have Scorpion in a movie to do that. You gotta say the line. Say the line! Anyway, Jade joins in that fight too, down there, to get the MacGuffin destroyed, and this is where Johnny unlocks his powers as well. So that is what gets the crystal MacGuffin destroyed. Katara then is able to get a pretty lethal blow in, and Shao Kahn realizes that he is now mortal, and thus she quickly follows up and finishes him off with a quite intense kill. At some later juncture, the two of them, that being Katara and Jade, visit the rest of the humans to say that they need more human reinforcements to something that is yet to come, which is again sort of again, the implication, like the illusion of setting up a third movie. And that was Mortal Kombat 2. It's better than the other movies, but I am here to review it as objectively as possible. So while I did appreciate the fights, there's just quite a little bit of bullshit that carries this movie as well. This is a 6 out of 10 movie in terms of pure score. That's not to account, because this isn't a martial arts channel. I'm not reviewing the martial arts in this movie. Like, I'm sure, like, most of that stuff is really neat. Again, the best fight is between two of the martial artists, Liu Kang and Chun Lo. But I digress in saying that outside of that, there was this... I wasn't personally upset that they didn't use the Mortal Kombat theme during the movie, like within the movie's context. I know they do it in the original movie. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I get why you would want it, I guess, but it's just, I don't know, it doesn't really add too much to the movie, quite frankly. It's there for the after credit or the credit sequence, and that's about that. So yeah. In terms of pure writing, this is like a 6 out of 10, and I do think that the fighting carries it to that score, quite frankly. Because the first movie was definitely like a 4 or 5, and the first two movies, I would say the first is definitely within that range of like a 4 or 5, and the second, Annihilation, is just like a 3 or 2, like very likely, if all the details from what I can recall. I can barely even remember that movie, so I should tell you a lot about it. The only thing I remember is that Johnny died in that movie. But yeah. I think that there's a lot of bullshit shit, like, and it's in the games as well, like the ability to bring people back, and you know, this is how they again bring back Kano, bring back Chun Lo, how they bring back Sub-Zero. All these characters were dead at one point and brought back. Hell, apparently even what's her name? The one that Sonya fought earlier. He used, Shao Kahn used some sort of like necromantic ability on her, and did so again when she died. With Sonya, after Sonya's battle with her anyway. But yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm aware again that Mortal Kombat does go into this bullshit of like undead characters coming back. And I don't know, maybe that is a roster problem. Like, were they afraid to bring in more newer characters this second time around? Because that's what it feels like to me. It feels like they're afraid of giving new spots to new characters. Like, I think that should have been what the case was. And here's the thing, like, I don't even recall, this is maybe how forgetful I am of the first Mortal Kombat movie. I don't recall where Chun Liao died in that movie. I don't recall him dying at all. Did he die in that movie? Like, I don't remember. Shit. But yeah, maybe it's a roster problem that they feel like they have to like slot back in characters that died in the first movie that they couldn't bring in anybody new. Like, who would be... Because, like, the whole Liu Kang versus him, till now, is, like, again, one of the best fights in the movie. And it's like, how... I mean, you almost kind of wish that that was in the first movie, in a way. Like, somehow that could get to that spot, you know? And it does feel like maybe, like, the robots aren't in this, and the two robots, they had Scorpion and Sub-Zero here. Was the lizard guy the lizard ninja in the first movie? I don't think he was in the first one. I know that. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, who could they bring back as, like, something to, like, improve upon from the first movie. I feel like they could have used him instead, maybe, somewhere. And yeah, like, I'm really struggling because I don't know Mortal Kombat as well as I know Tekken at this point. Like, I don't know any of the newer characters. So that's on me. I guess I would consider myself at this point in Mortal Kombat's history more of a tourist rather than a fan. But I digress. Point being, I would still argue that it has a roster problem, and I hope they can adjudicate that in the third one. And since they are bringing back people this early on, I say let Cole get that opportunity, because he got fucked over twice. Let him come back and get, like, a cool moment for once that's actually earned. Like, I don't know, maybe when he's resurrected, he gets the final kill. Like, and it's earned. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's the only way to justify everything that has been done to this character up to this point. 'Cause, boy, whew. Yeah, isn't that weird? I think I might be the only person who's requesting they bring Cole back in some way. I felt he got done way too dirty. Anyway, that is my review of Mortal Kombat 2. So it is what it is. If you ended up enjoying this review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure to check out those links in the description. Want to head you to my petition to help out small YouTubers, look to my PayPal. We can help support me and my channel directly, and there to my Discord server. Join, collab, shill, do all that cool stuff for free. And until next time, everyone, bye-bye.